Hey, we're live,
It's
folks.
green, not
1,
yellow.
2, 3. Tonight, October 10th, we are going to study this part. The church is founded on apostles and prophets, and Jesus Christ is the chief cornerstone. Reading Paul's teaching about apostles and prophets can help you prepare to hear the messages of modern apostles and prophets during General Conference. According to Ephesians chapter 2, verses 19 through 22, why do we have prophets and apostles? So let's go ahead and look at this one. How have their teachings helped you not be carried about with every wind of doctrine? So, let's see. We'll go in, click on this one. The full one there.
I'll read this. Why we have
It's time to listen.
and also is to teach us.
You're gonna wait. Get
So
away then if you're not gonna wear it. Are you coming over, Danny? Okay, well you gotta speak up loud if you're gonna participate. Otherwise we're gonna just talk here. Okay. Now therefore ye are no more strangers and foreigners, but fellow citizens with the saints and of the household of God, and are built upon the foundation of the apostles and prophets, Jesus Christ himself being the chief cornerstone, in whom all the building fitly framed together groweth unto an holy temple in the Lord, in whom ye are also builded together for an habitation of God through the Spirit. So, this kind of goes back to when the Ephesians were worried about, because they weren't Jewish, that they might not be special, right? Because they weren't circumcised and they weren't special. But when you are
descended from Abraham, they weren't special.
Right.
Like that.
right, exactly. So now, therefore, when ye are no more strangers and foreigners, that means we've joined the church. Now we are fellow citizens. We are all members of the household of God. And so the foundation of that household is Jesus Christ being the cornerstone. Do you know what a cornerstone is?
I'm pretty sure it's like get the most important thing in a building. I'm not exactly sure.
So if we look up cornerstone here, oops. Let's see. Cornerstone, or foundation stone, or setting stone, is the first stone set in the construction of a masonry foundation. So when you build a temple or a building, a house, the first stone that you lay, that cornerstone, is the very most important stone, because that's where all of the rest of the foundation is built off of.
So it's
So
Why is it
Jesus
called-
Christ is the chief cornerstone, because it's usually placed in the corner of the building, and then you place other stones next to it to form the rest of the foundation. And then so the other pieces of the foundation of this building, or the household of God, are the apostles and prophets, on which we're able to rely upon. We're able to follow their example, listen to their teachings and their doctrines, as they rely on Christ to help guide us and be strong and stay standing. Okay? The next section is Ephesians 4. Oops, where did I go? I went all the way up to the top for some reason.
You went all over the place.
I don't know where are we in the right? Oh, there it is. Okay. 4:11 through 16.
Are you listening?
Okay, read it nice and loud so we can hear over David's.
And he gave some apostles and some prophets and some evangelists and some and teachers, for the perfecting of the saints, for the work of ministry, for the edifying of the body of Christ. What does edifying mean?
Edifying means to enrich or build up. So let's see, define, edify. To instruct or improve someone morally or intellectually. Okay.
That is intellectual.
So it's from the Old French edifier, from the Latin build, dwelling, make. So the word originally meant to construct a building or to strengthen and to build up. It's used primarily morally nowadays, but edifying is to build up, to strengthen the body of Christ. Okay?
We can all come in the unity of the faith and the knowledge of the Son of God, unto a perfect man, unto the measure of the stature of the fullness of Christ, that we henceforth be no more children, tossed to and fro and carried about with every wind of doctrine, by the
Slight.
sleight of men and cunning craftiness, whereby they lie in wait to deceive. Do you have to read some? If you do,
Verse 15.
you want to read it? But speak it in the truth, and love may grow up into him in all things, which is the hand,
You had it right.
and even Christ.
From whom the whole body fitly joined together and compacted by that which every joint supplieth, according to the effectual working in the measure of every part, making increase of the body unto the edifying of itself in love.
What is the
Edifying?
Yeah.
That's what, if you were listening,
Build up.
we're just talking about that.
No.
What does it mean to edify?
There's a different word that you said, but I forgot what it was.
Effectual?
Yeah.
Effectual is effective. So it's making sure that things work the way they're supposed to work.
Yeah. Had an effect.
Mm-hmm.
Not did absolutely nothing. Ineffectual means did absolutely nothing.
Yep. Okay. So how have the teachings of the prophets and apostles helped us? Do you know what it means to be carried away with every wind of doctrine?
I was thinking it would be like go away from it, the book, like do that, smoke and stuff.
Did you poop your
I'm
pants?
not exactly sure what is. I have kind of. I don't understand, but I'm not sure how to put it into words, and I think that it's pretty rough, anyways.
Okay, so let's focus on what we're talking about here instead of adding fluff words. Carried about with every wind of doctrine means wind of doctrine. Is wind easy to grab onto?
No. No.
Does it always blow in one direction?
No.
So is it really reliable?
No.
Okay, so if you have a wind of doctrine, is it talking about solid pieces of doctrine, like a foundation, like a cornerstone, like Jesus Christ?
No.
Nope. It's in fact talking about when men or people try to take these teachings or try to take truth in the world and apply their own thinking, or they come up with their own truths and say, no, smoking is good for everyone. No, it doesn't matter if you brag. It doesn't matter. You shouldn't forgive people. You know, if they said something that was wrong or evil years ago, you should get mad at them and try and make them lose their job, and you should do all these things.
Which is just wrong.
That's right, because Christ teaches us that we should forgive everyone, and that we should forgive others so that we can be forgiven. That's the true doctrine. But sometimes people come up with their own doctrine, and people get pulled this way, then that way. It's like being blown around like a leaf in the wind. When a leaf falls in the wind, does it just go straight down?
No.
It goes all over the place. So how have the teachings of the apostles and prophets helped us to not be like a leaf in the wind, being carried away in a whole bunch of different directions? How do you think the teachings of the prophets and apostles help us?
Like, teach us that we're not supposed to smoke and stuff, and then.
So do the teachings of the prophets and apostles change a lot every 6 months?
Generally,
Do the teachings change a lot?
Yeah. Nope.
No, they stay pretty much the same. Now they say, what do they say at conference? Sometimes they say they make adjustments, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's not to say we don't change or we don't move and make sure that we're becoming closer aligned with Christ. But the prophets and apostles, they teach us faith in Christ, to love one another, to forgive one another, all the important things that we need to follow Christ. And those things, they haven't changed in thousands of years. In fact, but the main ones, to love God, has never changed, and to worship God.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So let it be written, so let it be done.
Done.